Not sure why that switched over there. Make sure that mic's on though. Anyways, welcome back to the Max Duty Day channel, guys. Back at Austin where we left off. We're at gate 21 this time. Kind of hoping resolve some of the scenery errors that we were getting on the last flight, but we'll see. Not sure if everybody caught AJ's stream last night on Twitch, but there was a little bit of drama going on Vatsim and the FNO event between Minneapolis and Kansas City. Apparently, it had happened since the dawn of the network, since it started, but some troll got on there, causing all kinds of problems. AJ got pretty frustrated. I kind of caught the last half of it. AJ was controlling ZMP. I hate to see that happen to him because he gives so much of his time to the hobby doing that, not only on Vatsim, but he does it on just having a brain fart on the other network, Pilot Edge. He does that full time. That's actually his full-time job. And then he comes over to Vatsim for events and stuff. So not sure what the outcome's going to be on that, but I think they ended up kicking him off the network. I guess apparently they couldn't find the individual responsible. They really need some tech. So gate 21 right here. Here's where we are overall here. We'll probably take, well, we have to look at winds and all that, but I'm assuming it'll be in south flows. We'll probably take a 1-7 left. If they're not, we'll take 3-5 right. So let's go dispatch this, add the flight to the schedule. We're back in 838 NN, of course. And we're going to go up to Denver. So we're at Imagine Sims, whoops, Austin. That'd be a hell of a flight there, wouldn't it? Where is that airport? Anyways, so what did I say? Imagine Sims, Austin. They're newly revamped, re-released. And, of course, Flight Beams, Denver. Alright, so it's added to the schedule. We'll plan this up real quick. Winds are 0-20 at 8, gusting to 18. That's kind of interesting. So looks like north flow, 3-5 right, I guess. 0-20 is kind of from this direction here. And Denver is in north flow currently. It's 2053, say 21Z. 23, they're going to be 0-40, then 0-3. I'm going to say probably still staying in north flow. Yeah, let's at 3-5 left. Yeah, we can take 3-5 left. They should be going off the 3-4s, landing on the 3-5s. And I would think normally, anyways. 21. We'll plan on 21:45-ish. Off time should be about just over 2. Well, let's just make this even today. Round it up to 100 and 1,000 for cargo. It should give us 0 fuel weight of 112.2. U.S. domestic fuel. Let's grab 30 contingency. Let's see. So 10 miles at both places. 600 at Austin, and or 6,000 and 9,000 at Denver. So we can pretty much do what we want on the approaches there. Not too worried about that. Maybe go with an ILS this time. I haven't done that in a while. So, ELO 2. Alright, let's look at some departures real quick. That's an RNAV. Looks like it goes out Abilene or Klinger. Yeah, it's got us Abilene to join J17 to PNH. I can't remember. Should know that. And on to the Quail 8. Wish there was a way to filter out RNAV stars and arrivals, but there are some instances where you'll need a non Quail 8 Southwest arrival gate. Alright. Let's see. First thing we know we're going to do is edit the route now. We're not shooting anything, but we'll keep it RNAV to RNAV. That's kind of ridiculous. The Pearl 2 maybe. From KISS, looks pretty straightforward. And that looks like that loads. Yeah, I shouldn't have selected frickin'. That's kind of stupid. I'd have been better off. Let me refine that. No, it's not going to let me do that. Okay. I don't like that gate. Let me check another, see what else we got from the southeast here. Looks a little better, doesn't it? Is that zip line? Is that what that's supposed to be? The zip line transition? All right. It's a little on path there. Great Circle 674, our flight plan distance is 739. We'll just take the springs for the alternate. All right. Now we shall run takeoff data. So what we're doing here, obviously, we know we're going to go flaps 5, but I leave thrust configuration to optimum. And that'll calculate the lowest D rate I can do. In other words, taking my 26K engines, turning them into 22s for a double D rate, and the highest assumed temperature I can go in order to save wear and tear on the engines and fly quietly and all that kind of stuff. Good stuff. So, yeah, one thing I wanted to do first was compute the flight. That way it brings the weather in there. Do this one more time, and let's see, there we go. So I can go 44C, 134, 135, 139 on the V speeds, 45C and 6 not authorized. So that'll be a reduced thrust. And it'll be a D rate 2. So I've got tons of runway. Release fuel 19752. FAR reserves 3.4. And let me write this down. D rate 2 for 44C should give me 134, 135, 139. It should give me sufficient obstacle clearance off the end of the runway as well. We'll run landing data. What I'll show to you in TOPCAT, but I'll show you the actual runway charts. We can do full flaps, that's fine. So max auto brake gives me a margin of 8,000 feet. Auto brake 3, 60, 314, more than enough. Can apply that, and she gives us a VREF of 128. So we're over the fence speed, and can do. And V approach will be 137. Our engine out will be to return to goes. 6 DME off the 122 radial of the Denver. I believe that's the Denver VOR, and that's the frequency 302 inbound. Update the flight plan with the performance data. And we'll export this to, well, before we do that, and we can release the flight and send this over to TOPCAT. And you can kind of see how it's going to drive certain things. So we make sure our tail number is right, our engines are right, the type is right, to and from, our flight number, the distance. So it's pulling us right out of PFPX. We've got the passengers, our weights match, 0 fuel weight matches, the dispatch papers. So if we go over here to takeoff, and so we're computing this with real world weather, and the 3.5 left, we'll make sure all that's right. Flaps optimum, thrust config optimum. You can see, here's the table. So that's what it brought when I did the takeoff data before. That's what it brought in there to the simulator, or to the flight plan. And do the same thing for landing. If I had any MEL items, I could put that all in here. Any runway shortening, all that good stuff. I could manually set, and if I needed to dispatch with anti-ice on, and we go with AC on. So 44C is what we got. It gives us a margin of 4,881 feet. So you want to make sure you can take off from the runway. So even as a private pilot, that's what you got to figure out. So that should give us a target N1 of 86.1, and you'd see that that's what you'll see in the ICAS when we jump in the airplane. So we're looking at these margins. And make sure we can actually take off there, and we can. So I could resave that back if I wanted to, but all that data makes sense. I think this is, can't remember what all this stuff is. Oh well. Anyways, so weight and balance. We're obviously under load. You can see here. In the green, 24.2% MAC, and that's our 0 fuel weight. We go over to payload distribution. So this is how the FMC is going to see that distribution when I enter that into payload. So we're going to put 7 in first, 93 in coach. In the cargo, we're going to put 1628 and 1772 in the back. So, and then here's the the chart and how that works. So anyways, that's all set. We can send this to Vatsim to file up. So we'll file on the network. 40,000, go figure. It's going to be our cruise altitude. And this is what our airspeed roughly will come out to, our true airspeed in knots. We'll go CI 25, which should yield us 0.78 Mach or whatever it is. Our proposed off time 21:45. Here's our flight plan there, ATC flight plan. I believe we'll have ATC online hopefully. Vatsim showing we're having 2 hours en route. We got 342 in fuel. So that's all good there. Here's our remarks, who we are, what we are, our performance category is, and any limitations and all that good stuff. So enough jacking around. Let's do this. Let's connect to the network. And make sure, and that's the right cell cal code, not that we need it obviously. But just make sure all the stuff's in line. So we're here on the network. I always make sure I'm not spawning over anybody. I kind of like to see who's around the world here. So nobody's at Austin, it doesn't look like. We can now export this to the aircraft. We are good to go. And now we come down and we look at our top of climb winds, 400 at 35, or I'm sorry, 270 at 88. And I'll look at ISA. We're going to be ISA +6, obviously, to the ground. Once we get up, we'll be ISA minus. That should be good. Now we're going to do our descent, or record our descent forecast winds. So we'll take 310. In the 37, it only takes 3 entries. Only accepts 3 entries. Trip 7 accepts 4. So 310, 230. And normally I try to look for the greatest values, the greatest changes. So the more you put into the FMC, the better VNAV is going to work ultimately. And I'll take 15,000 at the bottom at 308 at 22. So our you can see up here, we're going to have an average headwind of 42 knots also. So we'll put all that in there. I like to go back to summary and double check I'm under load. 21033. Here's our takeoff weights, 136 or 131,692, and we're limited at 152.7. So ZFW is 111.2. That's good to go. And then the rest of the weights, release fuel, our arrival fuel, all that good stuff. So ATC flight plan still matches with what I want to do. We're done there. We can jump in the plane. Line the IRSs would help. That'd be the first thing. I'm going to eventually shorten this panel state to a short turn or long turn. You guys know me, I've always liked cold and dark. So moving up, down, left to right. On the overhead, yaw damper can come on. Both. All this stuff here, I'm not going to go into all this in detail. Fuel we can leave alone. We're on BAT, we're on ground power, that's good. We can arm the emergency lights. Chime, fasten seatbelt lines can go to on and auto. Back up the top for window heat. And 40,000 goes into pressurization. Done this so many times I always forget. Let's turn on the air. Turn on the PAX, which we can do since we're connected up. Landing altitude in Denver. We're going to do 3-5 right. We're just shooting ILS today. I'm not kind of worried about frames. So we'll take it from Boss. Obviously, we're coming in from the southeast. TDZ's 5370, so let's put that in the pressurization panel. This rounds to the 50s. So we'll just round up to 54. Lights are on and on as required or needed. All we need is a position to steady right now. That completes the overhead acceptance. We can go to the CDU pre-flight. We'll load up the fuel. We said release fuel was 19.7. And we'll put in our packs, 7 and 93. 7's already set in first, 93. Cargo front's going to be 1628 and 1772 in the back. Good to go there. We're going to start opening doors and request boarding. Alright, so our model's right. We're 737-800 with winglets. That's what the WL's for. The current AirAct cycle of 1805 is current from 26 April to 23 May 18. That's correct. 26K is our rating. Program is good. We can go to the Posinit page. And both GPSs are in agreement. We'll take the left side. That brings the displays up. Obviously I've got the IRSs on fast align, so just in the interest of simming and that we're not screwing around too much. See, they board quick too. Boy, if they only got on that quick in real life, huh? Alright, so Austin, up select LSK1, and that's our origin. Our company route, Austin to Denver. We can execute. And I didn't mean to do that ahead of time. That's okay though. 3-5 right? Was that right? I think that's what we wanted. 3-5 right. We are AAL, that's our ICO airline code 545. Our alternate's going to be the Springs. And we'll take that via mist if we need to. And let's do our departure. The ELO, whatever that is, too, via Abilene. 3-5 right's already selected. ELO 2's here. Abilene, ABI, we can execute that. And we're going to be, or at least plan for the Zeppelin 3 from Zeppelin. And we're just going to do ILS 3-5 right. I'll put in the approach first. Suppose I ought to look at this first. Corresponding RNAV star, so we were on the wrong arrival, is boss. I should have looked at that really before. Alright, so the boss 2 is what we want. You can see there, it's for North Flow. We'll take that at Halen probably. This isn't going to affect our numbers at all. I just want to double check. And we'll take it at Ziggy, so, okay. Then ILS. Let's line up the approach. Boss is what we want. Alright, we'll execute that and we'll audit this. We want to make sure all our speed restrictions and whatnot correspond. 355 is going to be the initial heading. We can go ahead and set that in the MCP. Do we have any ATC? We have Houston Center on the line. So we're going to want to tune that up 126.95, but so I'm going to leave the altitude window break, or I'm going to leave the altitude window. I'm not going to set that for now. Let's roll this over to plan mode. Might as well pre-flight the captain's EFIS while we're here. We'll zoom out. So we've got 5,000 or above at Walmart. I don't even want to know what that means. Alright. So Walmart at or above 5. And so that's the only one there. So we're fine. So I'm going to step through this. I could step, or I just hit next page. PNH Zeppelin. So here's what I got to look at. So PNH Ziggy is what we want, because I had a different arrival in there. So it's not going to be Zeppelin. So we're going to select that, and it writes that in the scratch pad. And we're going to up-select through Zeppelin. And now you're going to see that it lines right up. So Ziggy, PNH Ziggy, and as we start going through the approach, we're perfectly set up there, so I'm happy with that. And we'll look at the missed approach 35 right and yada yada yada. Alright, so that's the route. It's obviously a tactical vector departure, as you can see. So 35 right, so that heading's 355. We'll just probably fly a runway heading or whatever they need to vector us for traffic, if any. And likely at some point we'll just get direct Walmart. So so that's good there. That's why it says vectors. So we'll leave that there until ATC tells us otherwise. We close this up. We're back on map, and the current altimeter is 3007. We'll put this in auto brake RTO. Boarding's completed here. Let's go close the door so they don't keep yelling at me. So init refs next. Need to tell what kind of performance we're running, basically. 400 is our cruising flight level. It's 40,000. Cruise winds today, we said that we're going to be 270 at 88. Our CI is 25, 3.4 for FAR reserves, and that ZFW matches exactly with our dispatch papers, so we can select that. So I always like to see what PMDG is calculating, what the developers are calculating, just to make sure we can execute that. So just to make sure I like to have all my numbers right. So the N1 limit, so we're going to derate from our 26K to 22K. That's a derate 2. We could also do a takeoff bump and take it up to 27K if we wanted to. There's no reason why we need to be off the runway that early and put that much stress on there. And we're going to derate it with an assumed temp of 44C, and that'll give us climb 1. We got a takeoff page. We always go to page 2 first. KC Center's on 2. So WX K Austin 040 at 11. Whoops. We'll put that in here. The simulator does not account for slope, even though some developers are able to add that in there. We can do an NDAP 2 departure, noise abatement 2, and so we'll turn these to, we'll change the reduction to 3000 and turn these soft fonts to hard fonts. And engine out's fine at 800. We'll back up the page, and we'll tell it flaps 5, and our CG 26.2, 133, 36, and 40. So it's probably rounding up or something, but that's perfectly fine. We'll set 140 in the speed window, and then I believe it'll calculate that V2 plus 20 on the departure. So RNAV departure, no courses needed, no nav radios need to be selected. So that should be CDU pre-flight. What we'll do is we'll go put my side back on the takeoff page. We'll leave this here for now. We need to jump down to the CP, to the center pedestal. Our first ATC is going to be 126,950. And we'll put the speaker on, our mic's selected. Make sure that's on weather radar and turbulence. We'll get a beacon code either from the PDC or from a clearance, however they're doing it today. So that's the CP. And now we can, whoops, sorry, flight directors first. My side first, and you can see it's lit up there. FO side, and we can LNAV, ARM, LNAV, and VNAV, and the auto throttle. So then we go to the ICAS and look and make sure we've got D-Rate 2, 44C, LNAV, VNAV, and auto throttle are armed. V speeds are in the PFD, or in the as enunciator, or as on the FMA, the flight mode enunciator. So blah blah blah. We're all set there. We can now. Can call up for our clearance. Jetway's pushed back, everything's pushed, ground equipment's clear. We know we're filed up with Vatsim. I don't hear anybody talking, so there's no ATIS. We are at gate 21. I will give them the altimeter though, just so they know, kind of like they do in Europe. Good afternoon, Houston. American 545, Austin, stand 21 with 3007 to Denver. That's odd.
American 545, Houston Center, good afternoon. You're cleared to the Denver International Airport via the LOL2 departure that is filed, maintain, or climb via the SID. Expect flight level 4010 minutes after departure. Departure with me, squawk 3763.
545 via the SID, LOE2, 40010 minutes after departure, 3763 departures with you.
American 545, read back correct, push straight on discretion, expect runway...
35 right?
Expect runway 35, expect runway 35 left for departure, awesome altimeter 3007 advisory ready to taxi.
Hey, we'll call for taxi. Any chance for 35 right?
American 545, yeah, correction, expect 35 right, thank you.
Hey, thanks for the help. We'll call for taxi. Alright, so we're good with the clearance. We've got our beacon code. We're going to climb via the SID. It's pilot nav departure. We are all set. We're ready to push. Let's turn on the APU, and we're not going to worry about a fuel imbalance because as soon as we get APU power, we're pretty much going to push out of here and start the engine. So APU bleeds on. We're going to start the APU. In the interest of simming, I just turn all these on, the demand pumps and the probe heat, so we're ready to go. It's not going to AOG anything. As far as I know, if there's any real-world NG drivers in here that can let me know otherwise, feel free to chime in. So I assume they're just not going to cycle up until they've got the appropriate power. So. We're on ground power, so if you want to see what our make sure normally our DC is 28 here, that's fine. I'll put us back over on APU since we're firing up the APU. And they've pretty much rolled us all the way up. So unless for any reason Fort Worth stops us on the way out, we'll just set 400 in the window here. Dun, 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 dun. Usually I roll right past it. Alright, so we're going to get a push on out of here. 35 right, in case you guys are wondering, is right down that
Houston Center, good afternoon. This is Southwest 4264.
So we're going to push tail or nose right, tail left.
Departure to IFR clearance to Atlanta.
Southwest 4264, Houston Center, good afternoon. You're cleared to Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport as filed. Maintain 4000, expect flight level 39010 minutes after departure. Departure with me, squawk 5050.
Something.
Looks like Fort Worth went offline, maybe.
Houston Center, can you hear me now? Let me see if I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Southwest 4264, I've got you 5x5.
Alright, power, APU spooled up, we've got power
Okay, I
to go
didn't
on
that
bus.
time. Let me see, I have my volume up now. What a crazy thing.
Southwest 4264, you read me?
We're all gonna push now.
Roger, I read you. Sorry about that. Little problem solving that I got to fix.
Southwest 4264, not a problem. You're cleared to the Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport as filed.
Anti-collision on.
Expect flight level 39010 minutes after departure. Departure with me, squawk 5050.
Roger that. 4,000. Climb and maintain 4,000. Climb and maintain 4,000.
So what I want to do is take us off power.
Departure, squawk 5050. Southwest 4264.
Put the brake on.
Southwest 4264, read back correct. Push and start your own discretion. Expect runway 20 for departure. New Orleans altimeter 3001 advisory data taxi.
Roger. We'll advise after
Brakes
start
on.
and push for taxi. Runway 20 for departure. Southwest 4264.
Launching gear. American 6554, contact Houston approach on 120.05. Have a good one.
Oh, Houston approach is on?
Oh, Houston approach, American 6554, I'm going.
Oh, there he is, 120.50. He'll probably act as the departure, 120.050.
Departure check completed. Live has been inserted. Release parking brakes.
Brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Clear to start. We use the right side so we can leave the left side on the ignition. That's fine now. Packs can come off. And start number 2. We're going to be looking for rise in oil pressure, 26% N2. We've got the rise in oil pressure. We'll watch that climb. Once that hits 26, we can induce fuel. Make sure the push goes as planned. Wait for starter cutout. Normally, obviously, we'd be monitoring these. We're still waiting for max motoring somewhere around 60 for the starter cutout. 57 was pretty close. We can bring in number 1. Rise in oil pressure here, N2 rise. Go. Good push for GSX.
Set parking brake.
Parking brake set. So here's our target thrust N1. It's also indicating the ICAS 9021 starter cutout. We can go put us on gens now. APU bleed can come off. APU can come off. Isolation valve go to auto.
Houston approach on 120.05. Have a good one.
Packs can go to auto. We'll wait for ground equipment to clear. Guidance on the left-hand side.
Tow truck disconnected. Live has been removed.
Where is my guy?
Team 43, copy.
Flaps 5 can be set.
Houston,
1, 2, 3.
We should be over to approach on.
Oh, there he is. He was behind my A pillar. Alright.
Have a good one.
He's got to wave like
Left is clear.
600
Right
times
is clear.
before he moves out of the way, before I can roll. Flaps 5 is in transit now. We can see here. That light will cut out as soon as they're set. Have a good trip. Check on a taxi chart. We can exit Golf 3 and probably straight out Golf to Bravo. We'll get that from, don't forget Vatsim's control top down. One thing I can finish doing is setting up the FO's ethos. How about that? Now we can say EFIS, MCP, MIP, CD pre-flight, and center pedestal pre-flight's complete. We're ready to go. We'll call for taxi. Everything's good. Overhead's good. Flaps 5 set and indicated right here. Houston American 545 Austin, ready for taxi. He's probably going, what? What? Hello, radio. Should we be over on, if it's top down, we should be on approach.
American 545, runway 1, or correction, 35 right, taxi via Hotel Bravo, hold short 35.
Hotel Bravo, hold short 35, American 545. Hotel Bravo, so that's the outer. Okay. Oh, what do you say we get out of here? Taxi light on. Just make a hard right here on Gulf 3 to Bravo. Right differential will help us out. Probably see the exaggerated wind effects on our tailplane from the winds, I'm sure. Yep, starting to pull us to the right. I notice if I spool up a little bit, it tends to not do that, but generally that's an indicator of asymmetric thrust if your throttles aren't working, but no indications of that ever. See, it just settles right down. Problem is, when I spool up that fast, obviously that taxi speed's way too fast, so. And you definitely don't want to turn any faster than, I think it's like 5 or 7 knots in the 37 or something. See, it'll just start pushing me to the right, no matter what I do. Normally about 26 N1's a good thrust setting for taxi, and it'll kind of spool up, but I think the ground friction modeling is not quite right either. They should be rolling a little bit faster, so I'll kind of spool up and then bring it back a hair. You can tell it's my ground speed is 6 knots, 5-6 knots. It's just not really. We'll take this up maybe to 27, 28. See how that works. Downtown Austin there, to the north. Tower. Regional Corrosion Control Facility. Shane, if you're watching, you can ask Luke about that. What the hell is that thing? They don't even de-ice down here, do they? Corrosion control? I don't know what kind of corrosion they got going on. Appreciate everybody tuning in here. I am streaming both to Twitch and YouTube, so if I don't catch the chat, I'm sorry. try as best I can. Obviously, I don't want you taxiing on that thing. Alright. Pretty much severe clear out here today. There are little winds, some fair weather cumulus clouds, but other than that. Alright, we're going to jump on Bravo. Be a right turn. Be a nice challenge to see if I can stay straight on the taxiway. Hopefully the winds aren't going to be buffeting me around. So far, so good. Here we go. Just made our southbound turn on Bravo. We'll go here to 35 right, call it for takeoff. Oh, that was Houston approach that was on. Sorry, not Austin. I'm all freaking confused, aren't I? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put us in heading select, not LNAV.
Houston Center, this is Southwest 4264, ready taxi, runway 20.
Southwest 4264, runway 2 taxi via Echo Sierra cross 29er.
So that'll
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? This is Southwest 4264.
So since we're tactical, since we'll be vectored to the first fix.
Southwest 4264, runway 20, taxi via Echo Sierra, cross 29er.
We'll use heading select first as our lateral mode.
Echo Sierra, cross 29er to runway 20 for taxi, Southwest 4264.
And then we'll probably up select when we get direct our first waypoint on the departure, and we can just engage LNAV from there. Now, surprisingly, benign taxi. I'm not getting blown over all over the place. Kind of like to keep it below 20. There's signature there. Almost there, boys. Hopefully I'm not going to have any issues with the scenery. For some reason, it doesn't look like this is really drawn in there like it should, as sharp as it should. That ops keeping an eye on us there. Sorry about that. Yeah, lights can come on. Strobes on. I'm not even going to worry about terrain and weather radar here, so I'll give him a call up. American 545 Austin, 35 right, ready for takeoff.
American 545, wind 040 at 11, runway 35 right, you're off.
35 right, cleared for takeoff, American 545, thanks. Got our takeoff clearance, we're gonna roll.
Approaching. 3-5 right.
3-5 right on the paint, 3-5 right on the signs, 3-5 right on the ground, 3-5 right, verified. Raz says 3-5 right. Must be good. Our takeoff heading 3-5.
On runway 3-5 right.
Alright, let's try to get lined up without getting jacked around too much. 40% N1, we can arm, engage takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust, arm.
Southwest 4264, continue that roll. Wind 340 at 7, runway 20, you're clear for takeoff.
91.3 takeoff thrust set. 2 good engines. Oh man, I forgot to trim too. Let me start trimming to 5.
V1, rotate. V2.
Positive rate, gear up. At 400 feet, we can autopilot. Bye-bye, Austin. Autopilot engaged, heading select, and VNAV 355. Indicated, looks good. 140 going to 160, V2 plus 20. Auto brake can come off, gear handle can come off. Accelerating through our, pitching over for our acceleration height, both our flaps retraction schedule. We can go up to flaps 1 right now, as a matter of fact. To flaps 1. Coming up through our up speed. Flaps up. We'll see if we get a vector.
545 radar contact, stay off, keep passing.
545, 3.9.
American 545, proceed direct to Abilene DOR, climb maintenance level 400.
Okay, direct Abilene on up to 400 for 545, thanks. Wow, direct Abilene, huh? Alright, LNAV. Abilene selected 400.
Contender compass, and everyone comes with 16,000 feet from that one. 15,300. Compass 2131, Houston Center, good afternoon. I'm being maintained flight level 300.
There's Austin.
I'm being flight level 300, Compass 2131.
So we got direct Abilene. Pretty easy. Flaps up, gear up, coming through 7. There's the airport behind us. Downtown Austin. Straight to Abilene. There's our 10,000 foot chime. Lights can come off. Downtown Austin still in view there. Curious to where EDC's behind us. Okay. Freaking lakes out here, don't they? So we're going to climb 1. Our D rate will begin to wash out, and we'll go into straight climb here in just a second. Alright, we made our off time fairly easily.
Climbing up to 13,700 for 16,000. American 627, Houston Center, good afternoon. Climb maintain flight level 260.
About an hour 45, we should have you on the ground.
260, American 627.
So D-rate's washed out. We're in economy climb now.
Houston Center, this is Southwest 4264. West is direct to Peyton. There's a problem. I want to reset to the next waypoint because my plane for some reason is not following the FMC.
Last call taking. Please, you broke up right on your call sign.
Oh, this is Southwest 4264. Hello?
There's the Austin, the airport.
Southwest 4264. Well, Southwest 4264 radar contact. Proceed direct Peyton. I maintain level 390.
Please direct to Peyton, climb me.
Houston Center, American 240, request fire clearance from New Orleans. American 240, Houston Center, stand by.
So far, so good on the performance for my machine anyways. This holds up all the way to Denver, I'll be happy. see what we got coming off. Couple in trail to Phoenix. Here's us right here. Fort Worth went online. We'll just skirt Kansas City Center. Odin's on. Our controller today is Carson Page. Denver not online. SoCal or ZLA and Salt Lake are online. Indy's online here.
American 240, Houston Center, you ready to copy your clearance?
American 240, go ahead.
American 240, you're cleared to the Chicago O'Hare International Airport as filed. Maintain 4,000. Expect flight 33010 minutes after departure. Departure with me, squawk 7121.
Cleared as filed, 4,000 in flight level 330, 26.95 and 7121 for American 240. I have the weather.
American 240, read back correct, push and start at your own discretion, next runway 20 for departure, New Orleans, altimeter 3001, 528 taxi.
So,
3001, and we'll look for runway 20, American 240.
Is that Bowdle? I know our airline flies there down
Please
to
clear up
DZB.
flight 224, San Antonio, Cleveland Park, Atlanta, solid. Delta 2224, Houston Center, good afternoon. You're cleared to the Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport as filed. Maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 33010 minutes after departure. Departure with me, squawk 6633.
So from Abilene, we'll jump on J17 to PNH, then direct on with Ziggy.
Roger, Delta 2224, clear on as filed.
Direct on the Boss 2 with Ziggy, right?
633. We got the order as well. Delta 2224, read back correct. Push and start your own discretion. Expect runway 4 for departure. San Antonio altimeter is... San Antonio altimeter is 3009, advisory to taxi. Roger, Gustavo, at our discretion, and we'll look forward to the altimeter for 2224.
So anyways, we're a little late streaming today. Had some adulting to do, i.e. mowing the lawn, washing the car, running to the grocery store, all that good stuff. Normally I jump on around noon central, but need to get that stuff taken care of. Their new version of Rex Skyforce 3D coming out. Somebody posted about testing. Somebody live streaming testing of that, I guess. Making our way up to 40 from 31-2. little bit of chop on the way up here.
In center, American 240 is ready to taxi at Louis Armstrong.
American 240, runway 20, taxi via Echo Sierra, cross 29er.
And can we take 2 instead? I think the wind favors 2 instead of 20.
American 240, if you'd like to, if you can take it, but I'm only showing the sentiment in New Orleans, so.
Yeah, I'd like to take runway 2, but it's alright with you, shorter taxi.
American 2, not a problem, taxi runway 2 via Sierra.
Runway 2 via Sierra, American 240.
That will probably be,
American 545, you're leaving my airspace to the north. Forward send-off line, radar service is terminated. Frequency change approved. Have a good one.
hey, 545 over at advisory. Thanks for the help. We'll see you later. That's that. Fort Worth not online. They were online earlier, but they're not now. We out of here. This is us. We'll see if anybody else jumps online. Looks like MCI's got an arrival and a departure. Or a departure, rather. Salina. There's our controllers online. Boy. At least the weather's good. So top of the hour, 22Z, should have you on the ground at 2334, so about hour 34. Top of climb coming up here in about 15 miles. Still about 81 and a half out of Abilene. That'll complete the departure. Then we'll jump on the is it J17? Yeah, J17 from Abilene. Man. All right. Back in the seat. Still nobody else. So, if anybody's curious, I did PM via Facebook the developers of Sacramento. Apparently, a P3D version 4 version of that scenery is in the works, so that's great news. As far as Tropical Sims Kansas City, I tried PMing them, haven't heard back. Be really great if that got redone. If that's the case, my stream for most of you is probably going to get real boring because all you're going to see are Sacramento and Kansas City flights. Those airports, just like Austin here, are great airports because they're generally going to be frame rate friendly due to the surrounding scenery. They're not real high density urban areas. So you can obviously fly airliners there or whatever you want. Looks like I'm tuned in to Abilene, huh? By default. Might as well just roll that course heading up there, huh? Gonna be only about another 40-something degrees for the ILS anyways. .86 knots off the left front of the plane there, the winds. Scenery seems to be holding up, so whatever I did, I fixed it, I think. Anyways, we'll just switch over to the arrival. The Boss 2. And we're taking it from Ziggy. Coming up here. And the 3-5 left approach. So, descend via your Mach number until transition to 280 knots. Maintain 280 until slowed by ATC. So, they'll slow us to 250 at Quail. So, at or above 300, at or above 260. At or above 190 at Nix. And at or above 170 and below 190, at 14 at Boston, and at Boss at 12. So at Boss, we'll line up for the 3-5 left. Look at that. Terminates right there. So Boss, Epic, I believe that's Culpeper probably, and Chap. Then Krupp. So here we are. We're on J17 now. Next waypoint's dumps in 89. Probably an airport around here somewhere. There it is. There's the city. So that course will be 353. And the freak's going to be 10:15. Let's preset that way ahead of time, huh? Oh, that's 3.5 right. Hold on a second. Oh, did I select the wrong one? I sure did. No worries. Same thing. So we want 108.5. Good thing I have aviation spidey senses, huh? The wherewithal to check that with the FMC, the freaking approach that I want. I might as well be a good little boy and make sure that Loke freak's the same. 108.5, 353, and the transition is boss. So our men's 55.34 is good enough. That's Cat 2, that's 100 above. RVR of 12. That gets us down plenty low enough. Missed approach climb to 10,000. Then right to GLLVOR and hold as directed, or as directed by ATC, yes. Close out PFPX, we don't need that anymore. Vatsim. winds are settling down a little bit. They're only 64 knots now. So just over an hour to go. Top of descent in about 334. Don't expect any runway changes. Might as well set decision height while we're here too. Obviously, I've got this key mapped to the rotary dial, so it goes a lot faster than me having to do it right here. You'll see it turn. Excuse me. Sure be nice if in the future, if that was one thing you could keyboard dial in or whatever, like you can do the squawk codes now on the newer Boeings. We're all tuned up and ready for the approach, some 400 miles ahead of time. Both side mins are set, both nav radios are tuned, both side courses are set. All we gotta do is roll down the altitude. Doesn't look like we're going to have any traffic really along the way. Don't expect the weather to change much. Wind's still out of the north at 11. 10 miles, a few clouds at 9,000, some at 14, and 220. Pretty much high pressure, it looks like, in the region, so we'll see if we can butter the bread on Denver's 3-5 left. Probably just jinxed it. Guess we can take a look around the world. So, took off from Austin here, on up to Denver here. See if there's any flight sim news that we haven't seen. Not really. Yeah, of course I filed the wrong arrival, but we changed that. That Zeppelin's for South Flow and the Boss is for North Flow. So we're expecting to be North Flow. And our expected approach is going to be the ILS-35 left. Realistically, the visual, we're just using 35 left as the backup. We'll couple up to it, but take a look around the area here. There's Lubbock there. Wind's kind of tapering off now to 52 knots. Looks like we're still at our optimum pretty much. 2:34. Got an hour to go still. Scenery's still holding up. Still no, Fort Worth came online. He went offline just as I crossed into his airspace. And as soon as I leave his airspace, they're back online. Just a different guy, I think. But goddamn. Well, maybe Albuquerque and Denver will jump on. So I had Houston. Fort Worth went off. Whatever. ZLA's out, it looks like. Looks like Jackson, Miami are on, and Atlanta. It looks like Indy went offline. So we got Salt Lake, Oakland, Fort Worth, Houston, Kansas City. I don't know that I've seen Memphis on in a while. Like Cuba, San Juan Oceanic, Kingston. Where these guys are going. LA to Sydney. Well, he's got a long flight ahead of him. LA to Sydney. So here's us, about halfway there. Not sure what that airport is actually. Like a terminal though, PNH. Let's find out. See if that comes up. It does not. Thought maybe the VOR in the airport would be the same. El Amarillo. Yeah. So that's what that is. Thought I saw a terminal down there. All right. Cool. Ziggy in 146. That'll be the start of the arrival. Boss. Past the rest of the city there below us, Amarillo. Amarillo. About 45 minutes maybe. I think we said VREF was going to be around 128 maybe. Bad performance on my rig. See if this holds up as we get closer. Might be Liberal, Kansas. Highways going up here, huh? Winds are slowing down a little even more. Now we're down to 44 knots. That'll work. see how weather's doing in Denver still. Still 010 to 11, 10 miles. Altimeter 3021, few clouds at 9,000, few at 14, and some at 220. We'll call that, for the most part, severe clear. So this chart does support georeferencing, so right now we're out of bounds. We should, as soon as we hit Ziggy, or just before, you should see us pop on here. Still no ATC, boo. Looks like the Derby just finished up, huh? It's about another 45 minutes. Be over the numbers. So Lamar here. We'll start the boss, the arrival at Ziggy here. That looks like top of descent. A little ways after that. So exactly in 115 miles we'll start down. Our economy descent will be 0.785 Mach, 267. We'll have to watch because I may reset that to 280. If you look at the arrival, so until we transition to 280, maintain 280, so until slowed by the star assigned by the ATC. So we're pretty much not going to slow down until Quail. It's 250. So through the transition, we may have to go and adjust that to actually speed us up, because that economy descent, as you can see, it's 267. So typically we would have gotten an error if we would have programmed that, or when we first programmed the route. But anyways, there's no ATC online right now, so we don't necessarily have to fly that fast, and there's no traffic in the area where we got to worry about that. We can adjust that on the fly. And here's our speed restriction at Quail. So anyways, shouldn't be a big deal. wonder if we'll hit a dusk arrival. Should get there about 6:30, maybe, maybe not. Might still be a little bit light outside. So in any case, our mins are set, course is set, nav radio's tuned for 35 left. We can plug in 3021 from local. That's ready to go. Looks like we're going to hit that pretty much on the money. PFPX did a pretty good job. roll us down to 7,000. Start towards Asylum here. Yep. top of descent. Oh, forgot my Got my water. I'm starting to frickin' fall asleep. Need a nap. Here we go. Like the front range there, way off in the distance. Time to check weather again. Oh, Denver Tower. 133.3. Oh, 0906. ATIS 125.6.
Altimeter 3021. Visual and ILS reports is in use. Area navigation Zulu reports is available on request. Landing runways 16 left, 16 right,
17 right. Departing runways 8, 25, 17 right. Please make a hold short instructions. Losers to airmen. A-Stack surveillance system simulated. Squawk normal on the land.
And we're on the wrong freaking arrival too. Oh well. 0906. Of course they had to frickin' flip. You know what, we're gonna slip in anyways. And we'll take that. We'll still take it the way we're set up. So that'd be the Zeppelin would be the opposite direction star. You know what? Hold on. Zeppelin, Ziggy. Yeah, we can do this. Fuck it. And... One seven right.
Now, 1816 morning, you come out once with you for this, so have a great flight.
Yeah, switching it up, switching it up. Hoop. Past Ziggy, but next. Ziggy, Asylum, Zeppelin. Past idle, so Nix. Alright. Vectors to Hoop from Sissy. One 173. Nothing like a little excitement when you're about ready to fall asleep.
Right, and trying to 8.2 to this taxi.
.108.5 still good on both sides. 173 set. Power set. We're on the Zeppelin. We shouldn't be out of bounds. Oh yeah, there we go. Just past idle. We're direct Nix now. At or above 190. 17 right is going to be 5592. It's going to be our DH RVR 18 or 3/4 mile. We have that plenty. It's going to be 200 feet above. Missed approach. It's going to be to 10,000 still. Da-da-da-da. So here we are. Let's go.
342, then go ahead.
29 is set. At or above 190. I'm going to put on the VSD just to make sure we're going to be set. Look at the entirety of the approach. We're good. For the arrival. Everything's good. Set. Checked. Uh, 5592 will roll up. DH is set. Captain side. FO side set. So we're gonna. They say 1-6 left and right. Now we're gonna take 1-7 right. That's bogus. They should be set up for direction of traffic. Also, I mean, in reality, theoretically, that would be more correct to be 1-6 left. Let me look. And we can take 1-6 left, I guess. We can take that from Kipper. Let's try 55-57. We meet that. Missed approach 1-2000. Still on track, still on profile. Uh, 111.10, 173, 173 set both sides.
American 2342, wind 090S6, runway 34 left.
5539. 5539.
Take over, people left, American 2342.
40. Front range. sides. Could have probably taken that from Wahoo. We selected Kipper. They'll give us vectors. 5539. Here we are here. Quail 17 and 5. So we don't have to give them a call until we're established. Zero 0906, the altimeter is now 3021. That's what we've got set. Scattered 12000.
Number 2342, no further entities available. Switch to wide and you to have
Okay, Unicom 125, American 2342,
see ya.
Alright, here we got Denver coming into view there. Getting through our clouds here. We got the current altimeter, that's set. Front range. Yeah, so we just flipped the boat basically and selected an opposite, selected 1/6 left, so we're going to be, if they're departing off the 1/7s, which he says he's doing, even though we're opposite direction traffic for landing preferential runway configurations, that should be fine. So, anyways, we'll give them a call up when we're established. So, starting to get below these clouds. There was a. They're also reporting scattered at 12000. That might be these bases here. Looking off to the east. Off to the west, southwest front range, and the Denver area right here. So we're set up 1/6 left. One thing I want to double check and make sure I got missed approach. Yeah, 12000. Whoops. So here we are, inbound Boone. We need to be at or above 13,000. You can see that set right there. So we're right on path vertically. Haven't even had to use any speed brake yet. And Opry below 12 and above 11. Might be a little bit steep for 7.4 nautical miles, but I think we'll be okay there. So here's the airport, just drew in front of us. So the 1/7s are on this side. We're gonna fly this direction and out and come in 1/6 here, and it will be an A terminal. So. We've also got a speed restriction at Boone. We're going to make that just fine. We've got a speed restriction at quick of 210 knots. So we're opposite direction traffic for what I think would be preferential configuration. They are departing off the 8th, off 8 though, so that's right here. So that's why this arrival obviously is geared for that, so these departures can slip up underneath of us, and that's probably why the hard altitude at 11 here at Quick. So nice view of the front range there. I've got a few clouds. We'll start our downwind turn here. That'd be I-70, I'm pretty sure. I can throw terrain on my side. I'm not going to bother with weather radar. Obviously, the train's going to be off to the west there, so we're fine. Just in the interest of saving frame rates, cut that out. So 210 at Quick. Did I just bust that? No, we're fine. Alright. For some reason I lost track where we were. Still haven't had to use the brakes. It's popping, drag required every now and again. We'll go ahead and help it out here. Ref speed is right as dispatched, 128 it looks like now. Select that, auto brake set. So we're gonna make Quick, sorry, yeah, Quake, whatever.
Standards all good after
210 at 11, I'll go ahead and put it in first notch now.
Ready to taxi runway 34 left.
There's the airports. Here's 17 left, 17 right. 25 right there. And underneath our wing is going to be runway 8.
Go ahead. Lufthansa 447, radio check.
So here's runway 8 there, and those departures outbound there. So we're going to flip over, cross over the left set, or the 17s. We'll take 16 left, which will be the closest runway here, and taxi over to A terminal there. So we're at our speed. We're at 11. VNAV's picking that up nicely. No more need to decel. And we'll fly this right down. We can go flaps 2 now. We don't need any drag. So after Sissy, we'll be on vectors to the to Kippy. So what I'll do is I'll heading select that. We'll change that out of VNAV once we hit Sissy. Fly a base, and then I'll up select Kipper and go back into VNAV.
Lufthansa 447 radio check.
So I'm going to speed intervene now. The approach logic's wanting to slow us down, but we're going to keep our speed up. Form here. And here's our runway right there. So top of this approach is going to be at 12,000. We're at 10.9 now. We're at 11 now, sorry. You can remember we had that altitude restriction. And Kipper is supposed to be hard at 210. Gonna delete that. Actually, what we can do, I've never tried this before, let's up-select flaps off the arrival. And go flaps 1210. So we'll go back in reverse through our up speed. We'll see if VNAV actually captures, climbs us another 1,000 feet. I don't theoretically have to fly it this far out. And I might need to smooth out Sissy to Kipper. I think I'll have enough room to make that left turn without having to worry about it. So we're back up to flaps 1, even though we're ahead of our flaps retraction schedule, but we're below 250, so that's perfectly fine for flaps 1. You can see our N1's only about hovering in the 60s. So basically flying the entire procedure, and here we are coming to Sissy now. What I'll do is I'll go over to the approach for 16 left, and we're taking it at Kipper, which is a mandatory 12 at 10. And realistically, they would have probably, if I had approach on, turned me well inside of that. But we'll give them the full procedure.
That's all. Looks like the 447 ready to pick.
Oh, and it won't capture that unless I roll up to 12, though. So see, it goes into altitude hold. We'll see if it climbs us. I don't think it will. What we can do, we'll go into V-speed, and we want 210 mandatory. When I did that, it rolled out. So check altitude target, we understand that. So we're on vector, so I'm going to fly it out a little way to smooth out that transition to Kipper. Then we'll hit Kipper right at 12, and then I'm going to roll back down. So it's kind of a reverse manual VNAV, so to speak. You can see the banana's going to start to come in here. No need to delete the altitude restriction. Probably should have hit altitude intervene, maybe. So we're going into heading select now, and I'm going to roll us over to Kipper. Probably should have started that a little earlier. So we're passing Kipper. We'll take Haley, up select, and I'll go back into VNAV. So 12 or above will put us back into kind of curious now as to is it going to be able to so 12 or above 210. Now it's going to follow us. So we're back in VNAV and LNAV. Direct Haley, you can see it's 12 or above. Now I can speed intervene once again in VNAV. We'll keep us at 180 is fine, actually. There's no speed restrictions. Still out of bounds. Still out of bounds. Should have passed Kipper. Haley. Jeepers a mandatory 10. So I'm probably flying this a little bit slow, but we'll go flaps 2 now. Airport will be off our left-hand side. We're facing west. It's down here. We can arm the localizer's not arming. Alright, so we've got the localizer armed and the glide path armed. Notice it doesn't say glide slope. I think we're going to be out of bounds until we hit Jeeper. So we're turning inbound Jappy now. Or, sorry, Jadazil. Am I on the right? 16 left. 111.1. Yeah, we're set there. We're captured on the localizer. And we'll have glide path capture here shortly. In the meantime, VNAV is going to continue us on down here to 10,000. We're going to hold 10 after Jeeper. So we're going to keep this 180 in for a second. We're still 128 for VRF. There we are, right here. So right on the money. Denver Tower, good afternoon, or good evening, American 545 ILS 16 left. $133.3. Are we on tower? Yeah, we're on tower.
Yes, Demator has problems with audio. If you pass that fast, not doing it.
Denver Tower, American 545, if that's you, I can hear you. We're established 16 left. looking good on path. Here comes the glide path right here. Got a simulator.
This is Southwest 608, he's on final, runway 35, right, 35 left.
Gear down, we're not fully coupled yet, that's okay. Go flaps 15. Flaps 20. 25, or 25 rather, sorry.
Southwest 608 is on final, runway 35 left.
We'll go ahead and start pulling. We should have just taken. I'm on 133.3. Am I not? Denver Tower, American 545, established 16 left, heading copy. Fully coupled, Command B.
Denver Tower, Southwest 608, he's on final, 35 left.
Alright, whatever, this guy's all jacked up, so tower's online. Southwest traffic, opposite direction, American 545. Can you hear me?
American 545, now I hear you, sir.
Okay, was that Denver Tower for 545 now?
That's correct, Denver Tower, 545. Which runway are you coming in?
Okay, we got you 5x5 now. We're established 16 left.
545 Roger. Traffic is 737, and he's not in contact with me. He's landing, looks like he's landing 35 left. So just caution the traffic. Otherwise, land 0201 Guston 19, runway 16 left, clear to land.
Okay, 16 left, clear to land. We heard the opposite direction traffic, so maybe he can give you a call up now. So they got opposite direction on the 35 left, which is right here.
This is Southwest 3608 on final 35 left.
We got
Southwest 3608, Denver is leaving south. Information Bravo is currently, you should have picked up information Bravo, flight code,
boy.
9,000.
Going pro next week. Alright, on path, on loc, on speed, we're 132.
Roger, 3608.
Gear down. Full
Yeah,
flat.
we're just hitting stick to 35 left right now. Southwest 3608, I can now authorize you to land 35 left right now. I have the opposite direction traffic landing. Information Bravo is currently, we're saying that Denver is now in south officer right now, so I need you to fly runway heading and climb and maintain 9,000.
Oh my god. What a joke.
Roger, Southwest 3608, we are keeping an eye on the traffic, and we're getting like
Alright.
stop there, 35 left.
Missed approach, we can set
Southwest
12000.
3608, fly runway heading, climb and maintain 9,000, please.
Approaching.
Roger, Southwest 3608, fly runway heading.
Hey, 16 left, environment looks good. Continue, wide over red. 3 green, gear down, indicated.
And that's why looks like a
40
full 7 heavy
Auto
regular
brake
check.
max indicated.
Full 7 heavy, sir. Glad you're going to use stuff like in Denver Tower, sir. Use 505.
Hey, we'll take over here shortly.
Okay, thank you. Papa Papa 2, let's have a 447 one way.
So, my airplane,
Zone 8, ready for departure.
my throttles.
We've got the 447 Heavy just over here, so just hold short one way for now. Hold short one way away, but number 447 Heavy. 447 Heavy, thank you, sir. Southwest 3608, right one way, the line, everything 9,000.
That was freaking horrible.
Roger, Crown to Red Trade, 9,000, Southwest 368.
60 knots, reverser stowed. My brakes.
545, welcome to Denver Side, from left when able.
Hey, left when able, 545, and we'll be to A terminal today.
From 545, we'll make a 545, taxi to the gate, if you can make a left on the Whiskey Delta, taxi to the gate, Whiskey Delta, Foxford.
Hey, to the ramp, I think you said via Fox for 545.
545 from Whiskey Delta, Foxford.
Hey, Whiskey Delta Fox, 545. It's starting to glitch on me.
545 will pick it faster, that's fine. Just continue to taxi down on 150 left on Foxford. Thanks. And Foxford to the gate.
Hey, copy. Lights can come off.
We've got the 447 Heavy, one way east, and line up and wait. Line up and wait, one way away. Look on the 447 Heavy.
So this thing's really wanting to, got some adjustments to make on the tiller, so.
Southwest 3608, now you can run it, you can come 1 to 2 from Hayford, and we'll be speaking to you soon, so.
APU can come on.
So the 447 Heavy, so 02014, crash 19, runway 8, for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, so look at the 447 Heavy.
That was a little embarrassing there. Here's us right here. Let's get a gate assignment. I think 41 is what we usually take. The wind effects, the exaggerated wind effects on the tailplane are gonna start to hit us a little bit. Uh, 4951.
Look on the 447, we need about 1 minute for takeoff. Look on the 447 Heavy, let me know when you are ready. How long is it going to take? Okay, we will report when ready for takeoff. Look on the 447 Heavy.
47?
And look on the 447 Heavy now, ready for takeoff when we do it. 447 Heavy, wind 02014, gas 19, runway 8, clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, we'll look on the 447 Heavy.
Smack that one in, Jesse. Did you catch that the ATC and that traffic or the tower couldn't hear nothing, couldn't transmit, all that? I feel like a tail dragger. I wish I could, the developer,
Southwest 3608,
somebody would fix this.
9,000. Southwest 3608 is on you out of my airspace right now. I cannot give you direction right now. We're still in the south, so I'll talk to you when you're final.
Oh, anyways, we can lose the flight directors. That was definitely not my best. Yeah, flaps are up, APU should be on, yep. Lights are off. Let's go, come on with this. So here's that traffic here that was that he had to resequence.
No, we've got your 447 Heavy, no 4 days to see. He's available at this time, sir. Future advisor Eva Fleet has a free flight.
Switching to Uniform Lufthansa 447 Heavy. Thank you for service. Bye-bye.
Now we should turn in right here. Going pro next week. See if I can see my equipment somewhere over here. Or it's going to be down the next one. I think that was Bravo there. Yeah, okay. Anybody, let's see what that was. Oh my god, damn. 548, oh shit. Now between the shitty ass frame rates and the unrealistic wind effects. There's Fox. There's our gear. At least we got that much. Bravo Sierra turned in on the wrong stupid taxiway too. We're gonna take a little shortcut. So there's the winds unrealistically blowing me around again. Oh, come on. Belly on up. Well, 818NN is going to need some new struts. So I think I about ran those to their stops. Spend more time driving around this freaking airport than I did getting up here. I need some tiller trim. So here's our gear right here. This will be our gate. So we did a star switch, a couple of runway switches. Wonder where that guy's at, if he landed and made it. Now I gotta play the speed up real quick to slow down but not go too fast. Alright, let's go put us on ground power. Whoops. Parking brakes off. Connected. Parked a bit askew. Whatever. Press deboarding. Is this a Control J jetway? Must be. power off.
Bye, have a good one. Bye, have a good one. Thank you. Bye, thank you.
Did that in kind of reverse order. God damn it. Transponder can come off. Needles off. Packs on power, AP bleed off, APU off. Strobe off. Overhead looks good. Let's see how we look outside. How about a jetway? Welcome to Denver, folks. That was pretty much one of my freaking worst landings ever. Holy shit. Technically, I don't think we broke anything. We should have, but we didn't. There we are, closeout charts. We don't need that. We don't need SimStall. Not sure where the next stream is going to be. But boy, that was real interesting. You guys, when this gets on YouTube, when it renders, listen to that ATC. Listen to me trying to get a hold of ATC, ATC trying to get a hold of us, then me finally just calling the opposite direction traffic. What's going on with the jetway? See if he heard. But by that time, ATC had come back on. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm in Denver. So, thanks for tuning in, everybody. That was nutty. No doubt about that. So, the Southwest Park's way back here, like up in the third tier. So that's where we're at now. But definitely no buttering of the bread there. I made some serious French toast out of that shit. That was garbage. See if the guys are done loading yet. Unloading. Yep, it's all perfect except for the landing. Thinking maybe heading back west next. Go back to work tomorrow morning for the next 3 days. So I'll have 310s in flight control. Not looking forward to that. The aviation's all fun until you have to work in it. But anyhow, so probably cut it off here. I think I'm going to grab some dinner, make something to eat. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see y'all on the next one.